Chunks, thank you for having me. I really appreciate you giving us your time. First, I want to talk about your career. I want to go back to the early days. You as a kid, what were your inspirations? Did you always want to be a boxer? Was it your dream?
Yeah, well, I was naughty at school. I got kicked out of school, and my mum and dad said, yo, go down to the local boxing gym. That was Trojan ABC in Harlesden. I started there with Phil Pearson and Steve Newland. I left there after a year and went to Dower Youth. The reason why I went to Dower Youth, my granddad knew the coach, Mickey Delaney, so I went down there, and it all went off really from there. Schoolboy champion, senior ABA champion.
Why not football? Why not football? Because normally,
as
a young kid,
I was on
London
football. They used to call me the cat, you know. They used to call me the cat.
You were a goalie?
Yeah, the keeper. But obviously, I was like 10, 11, 12. I just loved the boxing, man. I just loved,
Was there a history of boxing in the family?
There was no history, no.
Nah.
Mad, but as soon as I put them gloves on, as soon as I walked in that gym, I loved it.
Did you know straight away that that's what you wanted to be, yeah?
Yeah, but I had to get, my mum and dad had to like keep me in line, obviously, because it's a long, long journey, and sometimes you can get taken off the path, but I stayed on it, and thankfully I've got good parents, and they kept me on the straight and narrow. Ended up going to the very, very top, and I can't moan, you know, because boxing is a hard way to earn a living, Zaki. And I've done it from the amateur level all the way up to being professional world champion. So
the journey, it's a long journey, no doubt there's setbacks. Now, one thing I've always admired about boxers is it's a one man. When you walk in that ring, or one woman, you walk in that ring, you can't have any excuses.
No.
If you ain't prepared properly, you ain't trained right, you ain't lived right, you ain't ate right,
well,
you ain't slept right. You've only got one person that you can basically really fall back on and blame. That's always going to be yourself, regardless of the help and support you've had around you with trainers. Have you ever gone in the ring and got to a fight and thought, you know what, I ain't prepared properly, I don't feel right?
No, I've never been like that, but at the end of my career, the last couple of years of my career, a little bit of lifestyle, injuries, I had shoulder operations, I had groin operations, I had Achilles problems, and because I was making good money and I was at the very, very top, and I was the IBF world champion, I wanted it to carry on. I didn't want it to stop, and really, it was just stupid of me.
What didn't you want to stop? Was it the success?
The success, the money as well. When you're at the top and you're getting 7 figures, it's nice, you know what I mean? But I needed really, that's once again just not managing my injuries and not being professional.
Yeah, but you say that about your injuries, right? Because I'll take it back to obviously playing football now. I've played in games where I'm nowhere near 100% right. I've got through training sessions, I've got through pre-seasons where I've had niggles. But the thing is, if I don't make that team or I don't play, I give someone else an opportunity.
There you go,
if they jump in and I can't get myself back in the team, I'm going to kick myself and say, why didn't I just sort of bite down on the gum shield, if you like, take some anti-inflams and just sort of crack on and get on with it. You're putting your performance at risk because you know you ain't quite right, but there's more to lose if you don't play, for example. And I think that's probably similar to you.
But all you needed to be is professional. I needed to be professional. I needed, really, at the end of my career, I needed probably a year out the ring to heal, recover my shoulders, my Achilles, my groin.
But then that year out, Chunks, with that year out, you probably feel like you're losing sharpness.
You're probably
losing strength, you're losing power. Shoulders, and you're not getting forgotten about, because you'll never get forgotten about because you're a great. But ultimately, that year out of the game can sometimes have an effect adversely. Yes, you've probably recovered better, but you probably lose that.
There you go.
Lose that bit of ring rust, if you like. So just going back, just quickly. So obviously at school, probably struggled for whatever reasons. So I've always thought getting in the ring, if you ain't got discipline, and that means that commitment to go to training, get up early, go on them early runs. Go on them late night runs, them rounds of sparring and rounds on the bags and the pads and all the rest of it. Now, that discipline, I think, plays a massive part for young people, especially young athletes and young boxers, because I think they can take that outside of the ring and into their personal life and gives them a little bit of structure outside of the ring, whether that's in their day-to-day life, whether that's at college or uni or wherever that might be. I think that's one thing, and I think the respect as well.
Discipline and respect, and that's what boxing teaches you. Discipline and respect.
Yeah.
Because for me, boxing made me a better man. Don't know.
Yeah.
100%.
Now, growing up, who was it? Was there a moment that you look back on? Was it a fighter? Was it a fight you watched?
For me, growing up was Prince Naseem Hamed. He was my idol. I love him. And then getting on when I started, I was winning national titles and all that. It was Joe Calzaghe. I love Joe Calzaghe. They were my they're the two British fighters that I looked up to in the politics. And Nigel Benn as well. He was good.
Nigel Benn.
I liked him. I remember watching him against Gerald McLennan.
Yeah, Gerald McLennan.
What a war that was.
Yeah. They were my early days. Me growing up, I never forget. We used to live in a pub, and I remember the Bruno Tyson fight. This was back in the day, and we had it on the big screens in the pub, and the pub was packed. You know, the St George's crosses, face paint, and all the rest of it. That was one of my earliest memories watching boxing.
Bruno, he was a legend. He was like the people's champ.
Oh, absolutely,
But he did eventually go on to win the world.
He did, I watched it, Four Kings, documentary Four Kings.
Oh, brilliant.
Unreal.
Unreal.
Watched it. And then, Naseem Hamed. So obviously he had that razzmatazz, didn't he? He had that. I don't know. It was an arrogance, wasn't it? But it was a spark. It was. I loved it. I don't think he was ignorant, but I think he had that. If you're a boxer and you doubt yourself for 1 minute, and you walk in that ring and you don't put it on and puff your chest out and give it a big one, I honestly think you can come unstuck. There's ways of doing it. Everyone's different. You see, some boxers are a little bit more humble. They're probably a little bit more low key. Probably not as outspoken. But someone like Naseem Hamed, when he used to come in and start flipping over the ring and stuff like that.
They weren't ready for that. He was like, he was different.
But how was he come from that generation where it was all game, it was all like, no one could come out of the blue with all that.
Don't underestimate Prince. He had a decent chin, he had world-class power with both hands, he had good feet, was so unorthodox and all over the place, but it worked for him and he went on to win multiple world titles. I don't think we've ever seen another one of them.
No. I don't think we'll ever will.
Not like that.
It's almost like
Naz was the original.
Yeah, it's almost like Messi in football.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we're ever going to see that. I don't think we're going to recreate that again. Yeah. So during your career, similar to, I would say, we probably all had them. I'd be surprised if we haven't. But were there times during your career, were there dark days, were there struggles? Was that with injury?
I'll tell you it was. I won my world title in 2015. I was champion for 3 years. The last couple of years of my career, injuries, lifestyle, party too much, champion in the world, earning good money here, there and everywhere, doing madness, whatever, party.
Yeah, but I've said that.
See that kind of stuff, Stacky? That takes out of you. If I ever have a son or a daughter and they go to the top or they're
successful, whatever they're going to do,
one, just be dedicated. You have to show sacrifice. If you don't,
which is what So I was with Kevin Mitchell the other day, and I said, and I had my son with me, and I said to Kev, can you just if there's one thing you're going to teach my boy, what are you going to teach him? He said, just outwork everyone else. If someone else is doing 10 hill runs, do 20. If someone's turning up at 7, turn up at half 6.
Hard work, dedication.
It's all about that. But at the same time, listen, I wasn't one to sit in the house, don't get me wrong. Let me tell you that. But I think that the key to it all, in my opinion, is having a balance.
Balance, right.
Have to have a balance. You can't be a world champion and enjoy it.
But I'm going to tell you the truth though, right? In boxing, in boxing you can't really, if I'm being honest, obviously look, we're only human. After we have a fight, we're going to have a couple of beers, of course.
What about if your fight's not for 6 months and you've only got to do an 8-week, 10-week training camp?
But you have to show sacrifice and dedication. And it's very, very hard. Look, we're human.
Is that Mayweather?
Look at Mayweather. Look at Mayweather.
Maywever, he's always in the gym.
There's
a fight in the gym 3 days later.
He used to, you know what? He used to go out. He never used to drink or party. But that's the different levels to it, isn't it?
And what about in camps? So when you used to go to a camp, it's like I'm at almost like pre-season in football. I love pre-season. But a lot of people hated it. Now, I loved it because I'd give my body a bit of a blowout for 6 weeks. And I wanted to attack it. I wanted to come back fit, strong, powerful, ready for the season. Because if I didn't do enough in pre-season, I feel like I'm not quite prepared. So I would always, it'd be brutal, and there'd be days I'd have to run with the players and stuff like that. and I'd be trying my utmost not to embarrass myself and come last. I never come last at anything in pre-season. Never. It was just a whole mentality thing. Were there camps that you've had, or can you remember back from when you've had a camp and you're thinking, why am I doing this? Or this is tough.
No, you always go into fights with niggles or not feeling 100%, but you've put the hard work in. I'm trying to think. It was just at the end of my career really, where I was injured, and I was just forcing it. Well, I needed time out the ring to heal and recover and come back. But me being me, stupid. I thought, but that's probably the. But
that's also quality though, in my opinion, because your mindset is telling you that. Your body's telling you rest, but your mind it's overpowering it and saying, I'm going to fight and I'm going to keep going.
It could be a bit of my ADHD as well. I'm a bit impulsive. Very impulsive. Even at this big old age, and I'm impulsive.
So listen, ADHD. So I've worked with kids for a long time. Kids and people in general that have ADHD. Listen, going back to when I was at school, blimey, if only we had. Diagnosis back then.
Back in our day,
guaranteeing you now, most of my class would be,
ADHD weren't really about. They just thought he was a naughty kid.
My dad used to say he's a bit lively. What's the point? He's a bit lively. But obviously, we now know that we're probably a bit more than that. Now, what's your greatest achievement? Obviously, in the ring. Obviously, being a world champion is special. But what about outside the ring? What's your greatest achievement outside the ring?
Greatest achievement outside the ring is having my daughter, probably Iris. She's coming up to 8 weeks old.
So it softened you up?
Softened me, what? She's so cute, love her to bits.
And does it make you proud now? So all them days that you went through, all that training, all them sacrifices, to now you've got a family, now it makes it all worth it. It makes it all worth it.
And I waited because I'm nearly 40 and I've had kids later, but it's been brilliant. I've got my yard, I've got my girl, I've got my baby, I've got my little family now, and we're good. We're good.
So you've got some catching up to do with me, by the way.
I know.
I told you it gets easier. Trust me. Trust me. Right, I'm gonna ask you some quick fire questions, Chunks. Right. So these will be right. We'll start off with this. Right. Best fighter you fought?
Best fighter I fought as a pro,
yeah, or an amateur.
No, okay. I boxed DeGale when I won my world title. When I boxed him, his only loss was against Froch. A lot of people thought he beat Carl Froch. He come from good pedigree. He was a slick southpaw. He was tough. He was slick. He was very, very good. He's probably one of the best fighters ever, really, to not win a world title. Okay. And Usain Bolt, he was a 5-year world champion. After me, he went on and boxed Calzaghe and had a draw of him, so that was a good.
Froch beat him.
That was a good. Froch beat him, but
was he almost coming to the end or not?
He was coming to the end, but he had like a second run in after that.
Right,
so he had a couple of years off, then come back. But he was a 5-year world champion. Calzaghe, but that was a draw. That was a war. That was a good fight. But I boxed the creme de la creme, the very, very best amateur and pro, and that's what people forget. Amateur and pro. It's not just I was at the top as an amateur.
Would you say that separates you from a lot of the other fighters that have dodged fighters in the past or fought on the way back down?
Probably. Because the pedigree. Cause see my
did you ever turn
resume?
One down?
My resume.
Did you ever get up for the fight and you went, oh, it's too tasty?
No. Never. At the end of my career, there was talks of me boxing Benavidez. Have you seen him? He's an animal, but I'm glad I'm glad that didn't happen now because, bruv, the man's a monster.
Really,
yeah. And like, I was on the way out, and he was on the way up, and it would have been all wrong.
Yeah, I think that's coming back to when you're coming to the end of the career. It's almost like you've got to hand the baton over.
Yeah, man.
Because there's a new breed coming through. There's a next generation, and sometimes you've got to understand that time's up. But people hang on for dear life. Like I thought it was sad when Hatton come back. Yeah, and like, I used to love Ricky Hatton. Loved him.
He was the bollocks.
When I see him come back and he's got done with that body shot, because that was his trademark, wasn't it? That was his trademark body shot, and he's got done with a body shot, and I'm going, it's almost like a taste of your own medicine, and it was too late for him. It was almost gone, and his lifestyle was saying that you can't. I don't know how he was doing it.
He burned the candle.
I think he burned the candle more at the other end, though.
But Ricky Hatton was quality, boy. And listen, as I say, hard way to earn a living. He smashed it.
Yeah. What about most underrated fighter?
What, that I ever boxed?
Yeah, or in general, most underrated fight, even if you haven't boxed him, who's the one that you thought he's never ever probably had the publicity or got a name through his ability?
See, it's like, you're putting me on the spot, it's harder. So underrated,
Underrated. So who did you think should have probably have made it to the top, but for some reason never really got sort of recognised that should have been?
Well, look,
DeGale, yeah. Of course, you just said
DeGale, who I fought.
But he was rated though, wasn't he?
He was rated though, but he's probably the best, one of the best fighters not to win the world title. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was up there, but he never won a world title, but he was good enough to do it, so it was just a bit unlucky.
A bit like Kevin Mitchell that we spoke about.
There you go. Kevin Mitchell.
Was he underrated? Would you say he was?
No, he was never underrated because he was
rated.
At one stage he was like the prospect coming through, but as I say, we go back to the discipline and the sacrifice you have to make to reach the top. Maybe sometimes some of the fighters just don't do it, but it's hard, man. It's hard.
Yeah. Let's have a little look. Froch or Calzaghe, who wins?
Calzaghe all day long. Calzaghe's probably Britain's best ever fighter.
Yeah.
Fact, tell me a fighter better than him.
Unbeaten, yeah.
Go on, tell me Tell me a fighter that you like.
That I like.
No, yeah, that's Britain's best.
But Britain's best, I would have to say.
There's always you
can argue Fury for what he's done. Not best fighter, but what he's
because
achieved.
you know why? Because he's lost a couple of times. Calzaghe retired undefeated.
I thought Froch. I think you'd have to put Froch in there.
Calzaghe would have battered him.
Do you reckon that?
Yeah. Calzaghe would have battered him.
Do you know what I used to love? Listen, I love Calzaghe. I loved who he was as a fella. The way he come across, he was almost like a bit of a people's champ, really.
Yeah.
He come across. You could relate to him.
Calzaghe, I thought you knew your boxing. Calzaghe was the bollocks.
Yeah. I know. I'm not down that. So I'm going to tell you why I didn't. I'm going to tell you why he wouldn't be top for me, because he never used to seem to carry bundles of power.
That don't matter.
I know, but I want to see people explode in the ring. I want to see people.
Do you see the combination
take people
put
out.
together?
I know.
See speed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, loads of speed. Loads of speed. Bit deceptive, but loads of like you know better than me.
Yeah.
But I want to go. I want to see. I want to see a trade. I want to see a trade up. I want to see.
He was in some good fights, man. But I know what you're saying, but that's why maybe he don't get the credit, the full credit.
He didn't seem to get it a great deal though, did he?
He was good.
Yeah. Fury Joshua.
A difficult one, you know, because I like AJ and I like Fury, but I think whoever connects first, you know. Well, I don't know, maybe it's either Fury just boxes rings around him and makes him look silly, or Fury gets caught.
All right, ringcraft or power? What wins a fight?
Ringcraft.
Ringcraft.
But obviously, it's a difficult one.
You could be like, who's got no ringcraft and just hit you with a big one, and then it's like
there's not many of.
There's not many of them about. No. Usyk or Dubois?
Obviously, want the brick to win, but Usyk, he's one of the.
I think he's one of the best. I think he's one of the best ever.
Best ever to do it, yeah.
Definitely. 100%. With his record and who he's fought.
What?
Yeah.
How he's dealt with it from cruiserweight to heavyweight, undisputed in both. Yeah.
Canelo or Crawford?
Difficult one, because Canelo didn't look the best in his last fight. Didn't watch it.
I think he's one on the way down now, personally.
Yeah, probably.
I think so.
Probably, but I'd probably say, because pure size, just big. Probably Canelo
for power.
But Crawford, boxing skills, and he looked good, I don't know.
It's a good one to watch. I think it'd be a good one to watch. Right, this is a good one. I like this one. Walking out at Wembley for Arsenal or a ring walk at the O2? So would you rather walk out for Arsenal at Wembley, playing for Arsenal?
Playing for Arsenal,
or in that Invincibles team, you've got Patrick Vieira leading you out.
Man.
You're walking out with him, ready to go to battle, or you want to walk out the O2 for a ring walk for a fight?
Wow, for a world title. That Invincible team, was unbelievable. People say, "Oh, you're an Arsenal fan." Yeah, I was an Arsenal fan. I am an Arsenal fan. I am an Arsenal fan, a big Arsenal fan. But I don't watch football no more. You know, I'm still stuck in the Invincibles years.
Yeah,
honestly, like for football, I'm not on it. Like
football has changed a lot, and you won't be the only person to say that. The game has moved on. I think
I'm on it when it was Vieira. I saw Vieira, Petit,
Because you used to love combat. 'Cause you used to like seeing combat.
Omri,
And that's not there no more, is it?
Stacky, you get me?
Gonna warm up.
Will Tour.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still in that kind of couple
Yeah.
years.
The
Decade.
game has changed. The game has changed, I've got to say. Scoring a winner for Arsenal in the Champions League final or winning a world title?
World title. That's everything's gonna be boxing, probably.
Of course it is. And if you'd have said, and I would have said, I'd rather win a world title than win the Champions League for Arsenal, because I think that's all on you.
Really? Would you?
Yes, definitely, because that's me. When you're playing in a team game, there's so many other factors that can either help you or hinder you.
Yeah.
When you're a boxer and you're walking in that ring on your own and you've had to do everything, not just on your own, because you've obviously had the support from your team, but going in that ring and going in the trenches with you and another person, I think as an achievement and that feeling, I think that's you owe it to yourself, whereas others can play a major part and be successful.
This what you're doing is brilliant, because they're used to having support, leaning on each other, when now they're going to get in the ring and see what it really feels like you against someone else. It's you two together, and let's use the better man.
Yeah, because it's great. Footballers, it's brilliant. I've been with thousands of them, and everyone likes they like that one, don't they, every now and again. And we go in the gym pre-season, and everyone wants to get on the bag. But listen, let me tell you, I've been in a ring. When someone's trying to take your head off, it's out of their comfort zone completely. But one thing I do know about the lads that will be fighting on the night is they would have trained properly. And see the mentality that we spoke about. No one likes losing. If you've been a footballer or you've been a professional or an elite athlete at any level, you are not putting yourself at risk to get beat. If you get beat, you get beat by the better person. Then you got to hold your hands up. But ultimately, I don't think these boys are going to get in there and be under the prepared. And look, we touched on this already. The greatest thing, or one of the greatest things about what we're putting on at the Grosvenor is going to be reconnecting ex-athletes that have probably spent time at the game, they've probably been through these spells of where they've had to battle with a little bit of depression and a bit of anxiety and maybe being forgotten about. That euphoria of walking out in front of people, being down a tunnel in a changing room, that camaraderie.
You explained it well.
It's difficult.
That's
it's
what you
really
miss,
difficult to get that
so
back.
now they're coming back for one night only. Boom!
One night only.
Boxing ring, let's have it.
They're going to have their ring. Everyone's always thought of a walk-on tune. What's going to be your walk-on tune? And I've always think, I wonder what I'd walk into and I wonder what my robe would look like. And
1,200 people, they said, boom, it's going to be a buzz, wicked, they're going to love it.
It's going to be unreal. So, lastly, what are you doing now?
So now, what am I doing in my life?
What are you doing with your life?
I'm just like, I've had a baby daughter, I'm chilling, I still train every day, 5 days a week, because boxing's in me, that's in my blood, in me. If I don't train, I don't punch the bag, I do some pads or do some cardio, some running, air night, I go mad, Saki. So I have to at least train 5-6 days a week, just to get sweat on and stay in shape, and health is wealth.
Of course,
there you go. So
any good young fighters in there?
In here, coming up, not really. This is more like a keep fit. There's a couple of people that are all right, but this ain't like a proper boxing.
Would you go to training? Would you want to take someone under your wing, or can you commit to that? I suppose you can't.
Being a professional trainer, I just look at Jim McDonald. It's a full-time job. Jim McDonald was brilliant with me. Brilliant, honestly.
So I remember,
he was brilliant.
I remember coming.
But it's a full-time job, and I don't think I'm cut out for that.
I remember coming. I went to the gym before with Yids, and. I spent some time in the gym with you. You blew me away, by the way, when you were hitting the pads, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then we popped back to yours, and Jim was there. Jim was with his son, with his boy.
Jimmy Mack and Tom.
They were both there, and it was funny actually, because I think your mum brought in some like tea and biscuits and that, and I'm thinking you were just absolutely, you were smashing the biscuits. You were loving them. And I'm thinking,
food. Well, that's what they used to call me, chunky. Chunky.
He's only got a world fight. He's got a world title fight coming up in 4 weeks. But you're sweet. But it's going back to trainers. So you've got to be so committed, because you're putting someone else's career in your hands, if you like, aren't you? And that's a big responsibility.
And you have to be dedicated to your pro that you've got, because the early morning runs, and this is what I say about Jim McDonald. Jim McDonald used to, Jay, you up? 6 o'clock in the morning. He used to run with me.
Yeah.
You get me? But his gym was different because there's not many coaches
that could do that.
That would get up and run with me. He was a fit man. You get me? He used to do all my running, all my track with me. Then he used to go in the gym with me. I spent more time with him than my own family when I was champion of the world. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of time. So go on, Stack. Me and your fucking. You can't even.
Listen, last one, right? Just talking about that. So in football we've got like the PFA, yeah. So they're
keep on talking.
They support us, yeah. So when we're coming to the end of the career, we need a bit of help outside, or we need whether it's counselling or whether it might be a loan, for example, that might be able to help us out with. It might be going on a course like a football course. Or
you lot have got help, right?
So we've got help, yeah. So this is one thing that's always fascinated me. So we spoke about it. When you're the 1% in boxing,
you're earning wicked.
You've done well.
Yeah, proper.
You've done well. But what about the other 99%? So what about these young fighters that have committed and sacrificed so much?
Yeah.
They've sacrificed work, they've sacrificed their career, they've sacrificed family life, potentially, whatever it might be. When their career comes to an end, why is there not?
We've got no help.
Is there? So there's nothing.
There's nothing. There's no committee. There's no committee. There's no nothing after. It's a liberty.
So there's no help. So if you need help, you've got to go and do it individually. Why can there not be this? So every time Eddie Hearn does a deal, or Frank Warren does a deal, or these brothers do a deal, or it goes to Saudi, can there not be a percentage of each fight or each bill that gets put into a boxer's pot, if you like, and that can be used? That can be used.
That ain't gonna work, because if I got £1 million and I've got to pay my coach, my manager, the fees for my world title, then put a percentage aside.
Not you, not you.
Oh,
so whoever the promoter, because the promoters are earning coin out of it.
Yeah.
So
but they're probably
they're not going to go for that.
Nah,
but so, in my opinion, something's got to change, because I think that's brutal.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I think that's brutal. I think that's got to change.
But something has to change. Yeah, definitely.
18th of October, the Grosvenor House Hotel. Obviously, I'd love you to come along and be part of it. You're gonna know loads of people that are going to be there, and we're hoping to have one of the boys that's going to come in here and spend 1 or 2 sessions with you.
When they're ready, come train with the history man, the first man to do it. Let's get it. Trust me. Boop, 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 boop.
You legend. Shut man. Yeah, take that, brother. Thank you.
Could you like to just get a couple of pictures?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That was alright, innit?